Scientists in different laboratories are using advanced technology to study centuries-old DNA in order to solve a mystery that has intrigued historians for hundreds of years. They are investigating a deadly epidemic that swept through Guatemala and Mexico in the 16th century, decimating the Aztec population. By examining Aztec teeth, scientists have made significant progress in identifying the cause of this epidemic. DNA, discovered in the 1860s, has been a valuable tool for scientists across various fields. However, its use in studying human remains has been challenging, as extracting DNA from skeletons has been nearly impossible until recently. With advancements in detection methods, researchers can now detect traces of DNA in individuals who have been dead for centuries. This breakthrough has the potential to uncover the truth about the downfall of the Aztec Empire. The Aztec civilization originated in the Valley of Mexico and expanded to encompass much of modern-day central Mexico, including Guatemala. At its peak, the empire was home to around 6 million people, with its capital, Tenochtitlan, boasting a population of over 140,000. However, the Aztec Empire faced a rapid decline when the Spanish conquistador Hernán Cortés arrived in 1519. Over the next 2 years, the Spanish waged war against the indigenous inhabitants of the region, aided unintentionally by a smallpox epidemic that killed millions. With their populations devastated, the Aztec cities eventually fell to the European invaders. Just 2 decades after the smallpox outbreak, another deadly epidemic known as coccolistli, meaning pestilence in the Nahuatl language, struck the remaining Aztec population. From 1545 to 1550, an estimated 15 million people died from this disease. This accounted for approximately 80% of the Aztec population at the time. While the majority of victims were in the regions now known as Mexico and Guatemala, some believe the epidemic may have reached as far as Peru. The death toll from coccolistli ranks among the deadliest epidemics in human history, surpassing even the infamous Black Death that ravaged Europe centuries earlier. Reports from the time describe alarming symptoms of the disease. Victims would experience bleeding from multiple orifices, such as the nose, mouth, and eyes, and would often succumb to the illness within days. Fray Juan de Torquemada, a Spanish missionary active in Mexico in 1576, provided a vivid description of the condition. He noted fevers that were contagious, burning, and continuous, along with a dry and black tongue. Victims also suffered from extreme thirst, yellowing of the eyes and skin, and frequent pulse. Other sources mention symptoms such as vomiting, reddish skin spots, and the appearance of hard nodules. Despite the documentation of symptoms, the identity of the disease remained a mystery for centuries. The Aztec population, devastated by the epidemic, had no understanding of the illness that decimated their people. The outbreaks eventually subsided, but not before claiming the lives of millions. Physicians and researchers throughout history proposed various explanations, including known diseases brought by the Spanish, such as smallpox, typhus, and measles. However, none of these diseases seemed to fit the symptoms exactly. Other theories suggested influenza, pneumonic plague, or viral hemorrhagic fever as possible causes, but no definitive conclusions were reached until recently. With the advent of advanced DNA analysis, scientists have made significant progress in understanding the epidemic that plagued the Aztecs. By studying the DNA extracted from Aztec teeth, researchers have made promising discoveries. While the specific findings are not mentioned, it appears that they have made significant headway in identifying the culprit behind the deadly epidemic that befell the Aztec Empire. In conclusion, researchers are using advanced DNA technology to unravel the mystery of a deadly epidemic that devastated the Aztec population in the 16th century. Through the examination of Aztec teeth, scientists have made significant progress in identifying the cause of the epidemic. The Aztec civilization, once thriving, faced a rapid decline due to a combination of Spanish conquest and devastating outbreaks of disease. The coccolistli epidemic, with its alarming symptoms and massive death toll, has remained a mystery for centuries. However, with recent advancements in DNA analysis, researchers are getting closer to understanding the disease that brought about the downfall of the Aztec Empire. In January 2018, a team of researchers published a study in the scientific journal Nature Ecology and Evolution, revealing significant findings about the coccolistly epidemic. By utilizing new technology and analyzing human remains, the researchers aimed to uncover the truth behind this mysterious epidemic. The study compared two sets of remains: 24 skeletons from a burial ground used during the coccolistly outbreak, and 5 skeletons from a pre-Spanish conquest cemetery. Extracting DNA from ancient remains has been challenging, but recent technological advancements have provided new opportunities. Using the Megan alignment tool, MEL-T, the researchers analyzed molecules extracted from the teeth of the deceased. This software allowed them to screen for various pathogens without specifically targeting a particular organism. The team generated a list of bacteria present in the teeth and manually examined the data to identify recurring patterns. One strain that stood out was Salmonella enterica, found in 10 out of 24 cases. Salmonella enterica causes a condition called enteric fever, characterized by symptoms such as vomiting, fever, and rash. While this strain is not common today, it is similar to contemporary Salmonella strains that spread through contaminated food and water. Finding Salmonella enteric in the teeth suggested that the victims were severely infected, as the bacteria had reached their bloodstream. The strain might have been brought to Central America by the Spanish, along with other diseases like measles and smallpox. Another study published in February 2017 provided additional evidence supporting this hypothesis, as Salmonella enterica was also detected in the remains of a Norwegian woman who died in 1200. Although it's possible that the bacteria existed in Mexico before the Spanish arrival, there is currently no evidence to support this claim. The researchers noted that the Spanish might have unknowingly carried the deadly disease, with seemingly healthy individuals traveling from Europe to Mexico. Once in Mexico, they could have contaminated the local water supply, facilitating the spread of the infection. The aftermath of the Spanish conquest led to the redistribution of the remaining Aztec population and the introduction of new agricultural practices, both of which likely contributed to the spread of the disease in crowded conditions. However, not everyone agrees that Salmonella enterica was the sole cause of the coccolistly epidemic. Some experts, including epidemiologist Rodolfo Acuna Soto, believe a viral fever was the culprit. The researchers themselves acknowledged that other pathogens might have interacted with Salmonella enterica during the outbreak. Furthermore, DNA analysis has limitations, as it cannot detect RNA viruses. More tests using samples from different burial sites are needed to build a clearer picture of the epidemic. While the study's findings are not conclusive, researchers like Kirsten Boss, one of the study's contributors, consider Salmonella enterica a strong candidate for the cause of the coccolistly epidemic. Further investigations using advanced technology, such as MALT, will continue to shed light on how diseases have shaped our past. Thank you for watching, and remember to like and subscribe.